that's here and with their intentions and their love, bring us all together in unity, Father God. We ask that you bless this meeting and keep each and every council member and each and every law enforcement and first responder safe, Father God, and healthy. Most of all, let every order and everything that is done be acceptable in your sight. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ma'am, thank you very much for coming. Moving on to item 4, Certificate Service Awards. Staff Service Award, Tim Yogerst, Animal Control Officer, Supervisor for 5 years. We'll welcome him down as well as Lieutenant Jason Kaufman.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Good to see you all. It's our pleasure to speak a few nice words about this gentleman right here, and we have his supervisor, Lieutenant Kaufman, who will make those comments.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see everybody today. So I'm going to read this about Tim. ACO Supervisor Timothy Yogerst. In 2017, Tim Yogerst began working for the town of Prescott Valley as an animal control officer. As an animal control officer, Tim learned quickly and performed brilliantly. Tim Yogerst has been described by some animal people and members of the community as an animal whisperer. During his tenure, Tim has successfully caught horses, dogs, cats, chickens, goats that were large that many others have tried to catch during their time as animal control officers, but were very unsuccessful. Tim has also successfully retrieved injured owls, hawks, and other unusual animals during his tenure, getting them the medical care they needed before they went back into nature. Ultimately, Tim has done a great job, great work, identified problems, solved the problems, not only for the town of Prescott Valley, but our police department as well. In 2020, Tim Yogerst was promoted to animal control supervisor and has been doing an excellent job in his position as a supervisor, trainer, and mentor. Tim and his team regularly attend community outreach events, including Humboldt Unified School District Cops and Kids, Coffee with a Cop, National Night Out, right across America. Tim is extremely responsive to the needs of the community and our police department personnel. Tim is a consummate team player. Tim is married to his awesome wife, Marie, a professional staff member for the police department. She works in the records division, and they have 2 daughters together. Give it up.
One more time for Tim. We're going to kind of shift things around a little bit right now. We're moving on to 5C, though. So, Chamber, just stay impatient, okay? This will be the Healing Fields essay winners. Welcome down Heidi Foster, Communications Manager.
I had the privilege this year of chairing the Healing Fields, and part of that is that we have an essay contest for any local students who would like to participate. And so students write their essays, and then we have a panel of judges that judges them. And this year, our theme was, what does bravery mean to you? So we have 4 students who did outstanding jobs on their essays. So I'd like to call up our first place winner, Daniela Torres. Second place winner, Allison Barney. Our third place winner, Emmy Benyon. And our fourth place winner, Ethan Boggs. So each of these students, if you want to come over here in the front, we'll get a nice picture with the mayor here. So each of these students wrote their essay, and so they each get a cash prize too as well. And we just want to say how much we appreciate the fact that they took the time to write these essays. And so give them another hand.
Next up, we have a little added surprise for tonight. Didn't make it to the agenda, but we're going to recognize our Citizens Academy graduates. So Ryan, Judy will take it from there.
Mayor, Council, appreciate you squeezing me in. This was scheduled in my mind, but it didn't translate to the agenda. So appreciate that. This opportunity to recognize residents that have spent the past 10 Wednesday nights with us learning about the town and meeting department heads and other community leaders. I know many of you have also been through this Citizens Academy. So it's our chance to recognize them. We appreciate again, the time they spent with us. We had a great session last night. It was our roundtable discussing things they like about Presque Isle, things we can improve, and we look forward to trying to implement some of those suggestions in the future. So as we read their names, I would invite them down and ask you to please stay up here so we can get a picture at the very end. You are more than welcome to applause as we read their names. Several couldn't be here tonight, so we'll go through these as fast as we can. Ruth Carson. Is Ruth here? No? Toby Chang? Oh, strike two. Stephen Freed. We're out. That's strike three. Susan Haylett de Roos. Oh, going into extra innings. I know.
Did you get the meeting?
Sandy Hopkins. Wow. This is my worst ever. Karen Larson. Okay. Jim Lawson. Jim's here. Yay. And we have the Leva family, Lucy, Abraham, and Helen. I didn't see them walk in, so next three. This is going quick, I told you. And I'll probably slaughter this name, but I'll try my best. Xiao Yan Liang. No? Connie Maudlin. Kim Minoski. Kim should be here, she's with the chamber. Where's Kim? Picture of one. Joyce Moore. Yes. Yay, the second one. Dean Morin. No. Richard Powell, Patty Powell. Richard and Patty Powell. My goodness. Jeremy Seeger. And he's probably with Kim. Catherine Tuberty. And last one, this is your last chance, Barbara Wyrick. Wow, we got two.
Did you tell them?
I announced it 2 weeks in a row. One more round of applause for these people.
Nothing changes, man.
Our next council members.
Pardon?
They'll have to do the next.
All right, next up, Chamber of Commerce. I'm sorry. It's not Chamber of Commerce time. My apology. They didn't mean to get you guys all excited. It's actually going to be Mayor's Recognition Award, Justin Berry. Justin, come on up. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Doing well.
Before we recognize Justin tonight, I would just thought we should remind everybody, with it being Veterans Day tomorrow, I'd like to have all veterans stand up so we could recognize them. Please stand up. Thank you for your service. Well, I have the pleasure tonight of recognizing a young man for his great accomplishment. His name is Justin Berry, and I'm going to let him tell you about what he has done to earn his Eagle Scout Award. While he is speaking, we will be having a slideshow presentation in the background with dedication was done on October 15th, 22. So, Fatima, would you go ahead and start this slideshow? And here's Justin.
All right, so good evening. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you all for being here. So as he said, we're here tonight so I could show you guys what I did for my Eagle Scout project. So first off, my name is Justin Berry, and I finished up my Eagle Scout project last month. So I'm a junior over at Bradshaw Mountain High School, and I try to participate in, as many programs as I can, Boy Scouts being one of them. And the highest rank inside of Boy Scouts is the Eagle Scout. And the biggest requirement to achieve your Eagle Scout project, achieve the Eagle Scout is your Eagle Scout project, which is a service project that benefits the community, which in turn also benefits you. So to fulfill this requirement, I installed 6 flagpoles over at the American Legion Park here in Prescott Valley. And then each flagpole displays one of the United States military service branch flags. So as a young first grader just joining Cub Scouts, I never thought I'd be doing a project quite as big as that. So while thinking of ideas for my Eagle project, I brainstormed with my parents and scout leaders, and then I called the town of Prescott Valley, and we got working on what you guys can see here today. And when doing my Eagle Scout project, I had to create a name for my project. And these flags aren't just threads on a metal pole, but they represent something with a deeper purpose. So after a few days, I came up with the name of Flags of Gratitude, because these flags are just a small token of our gratitude towards all veterans who have served in all of the armed forces. And there's been over 41 million Americans throughout history who have served in the armed forces, with many more to come. And these men and women have fought for everything so we can stand here today. And all veterans have sacrificed, with some sacrificing all. And for these reasons, it's necessary for us to show them our gratitude. And that's why I named it Flags of Gratitude. However, this project couldn't have been completed without many donors. And I'd also like to take the time to thank both my mom and my dad, because I couldn't really have done anything without them. And I'd also like to thank the American Legion Post 140, because they also helped me out a lot for over a year. And then finally, I'd like to give a big thanks to the town of Prescott Valley for allowing me to do this project.
There we go.
One of the things Justin did not share with us, to accomplish this project, he went out and raised $9,500 to put this project together. Now, that I think is quite an accomplishment. Being a former insurance agent throughout the years, going out and asking people for money is not the easiest thing. And for a young man to go out and ask for that kind of money, I think that's a tribute to him. One of the things, after listening to Justin tonight, it gives me great faith and the future generations that will be leading this great country. Sometimes, and I know that I'm guilty of this, we major in minor stuff. We need to remember the 80-20 rule. 20% of the young people are causing 80% of the problems. And 80% of the young people that are good, there is no issues. So we forget that. And here, this gives me confidence that in the future, that we have young people in this generation that's coming up as us old geezers. I'll keep it clean. I don't want to have a slip of the tongue like I did 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I'll keep it cleaner tonight. That there are great kids here. Justin, on behalf of the town of Prescott Valley, the American Legion Post 140, and all the citizens of Prescott Valley, we'd like to thank you for your contribution and your hard work. By earning the Eagle Scout Award, future employers, and I mean future employers, are going to know that what type of employee they're going to be getting when they hire you. Let's give Justin a round of applause for this accomplishment.
Next up, Chamber.
Oh, I get a special one. Testing, testing. There we are. Hello, good evening. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Town Council, thanks so much for having us here tonight. I have one business here to present to you guys. I'm very excited to introduce Chris Einmalter with Edward Jones Investments.
Welcome, sir.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys. And I just want to let you guys know I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight and to talk to everyone. And I come from working at a major bank for the last 20 years over in Prescott and in Phoenix too. And I just opened up my own Edward Jones office back in May over on Glassford Hill in Florentine. So I'm right down the street from here. And what we do is we basically help our clients reach their financial goals by working closely with them, finding out what's important to them, and working with them over long term to help them meet their goals, whether it's investments, retirement, savings, education, and so on. So, and we also do banking as well, for anyone who didn't know that. We're not only investments, we do a lot of FDIC insured CDs and IRAs and money market and things like that are, the rates are really good right now. Excuse me, so we're doing a lot of that right now. And my passion is just helping people with their finances. It doesn't matter how much money they have. I don't have any minimums or anything like that, so I'll help anybody. If they're young, you know, retired, whatever, I'm excited to help anyone in Prescott Valley and, or Prescott, anywhere in the area. So I just want to thank you guys for letting me talk for a minute or two, and well, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, sir. And just, you can give your phone number as well.
Yeah, my phone number, 928-772-5474, and I'm over in the Fry's parking lot, on the back side there.
Excellent.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks
you,
so
sir.
much. Thank you.
Next up, item 6, call to the public. At this time, members of the public may comment on matters listed on the agenda or solely on matters within the jurisdiction of the town. Any person wishing to address the The council must complete a speaker card located inside the entrance of the council chambers and deliver it to the town clerk prior to commencement of the meeting. The council's response is limited to responding to criticism, asking staff to review a matter commented upon, or asking that a matter be put on a future agenda. Such remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. Clerk?
Mr. Steve Carrows.
Welcome, sir.
Hello. I would like to begin by calling your attention to the United States Constitution. In the First Amendment, our inalienable right to freedom of speech and to petition the government for a redress of grievances is unquestionably established. This is this week's town newsletter, specifically the mayor's message. It is at least the third such newsletter, along with 2 guest articles in the Tribune, multiple postings on the internet, including under assumed names, and an abusive use of the town's email list, including this exchange, which you all have been given, I believe, with a P&Z commissioner, wherein Mayor Palguda verbally attacks citizens of Prescott Valley for exercising our constitutional rights. Add to these, the mayor's verbal attacks on speakers during council public comments have initiated at least 1 defamation lawsuit against him and the town that I'm aware of. In his article, and I quote, "Anger and negativity spreaders who know no other way to interact are identified as 1/10 of 1% of the people." Not only are these statements highly offensive, but his math is way off. There were a total of 15,327 ballots cast in the August town primary. However, only 12,142 chose to vote for a mayoral candidate. Palguda received 11,802 votes, and 340 voted for write-ins, although there were no official write-in candidates. 3,185 people declined to vote at all for mayor or in this uncontested race. Add the write-in votes to those refusals, and we get 3,525 people who chose to vote against Palguda in one way or another as a clear indicator that they knew quite well how to interact and express our anger. That is 30% of the people who voted, which is a significant percentage of unhappy people seeking to redress our grievances. It is time for the mayor to cease his personal and offensive attacks on the people of Prescott Valley. How many more of our tax dollars will be lost to this behavior, such as the $210,000 that were lost to our former police chief? I'm calling on this council, as well as Town Attorney Legler, to reel in this unprofessional and counterproductive behavior for the betterment of our community. We, the people of Prescott Valley, will never surrender our God-given constitutional rights to this council. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Clerk?
Mr. Jonathan Carty.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for opening this forum to the public. My name is Jonathan Carty, and what I will talk about does directly affect the town. Our planet is currently undergoing a massive benevolent liberation process, as it has been prophesied by several ancient cultures and civilizations. They foretell a time of great strife and the birth of a golden age, a transition into the age of Aquarius. The moment of this breakthrough is called the event, and reliable intel is being released to help people prepare for this wonderful time at 2012portal.blogspot.com. There's nothing to fear, and there's much to look forward to, such as advanced technology, free energy, healing technology. All these amazing inventions will be released simultaneously, and they have been hidden from us and paid for by the taxpayers, which we know about thanks to brave high-level whistleblowers, such as those at the 2001 Disclosure Project in Washington, D.C. Part of this operation will include mass arrests of worldwide criminals simultaneously. This will also include the network of evil families known as the Black Nobility families, The core of this network being the Massimo or Maximus crime family, who trace their bloodline all the way back to ancient Rome. I had the honor of meeting Laura Eisenhower, the granddaughter of President Eisenhower, at a gathering for people who are interested in these subjects, which she was very interested in. We can also look forward to benevolent first contact with our star brothers and sisters of the Galactic Confederation, especially the Pleiadians, which are very real and have been in the mainstream media, and they're helping to prevent the destruction of this beautiful planet and to assist our transition into an amazing, prosperous, and healed collective. Despite appearances, our future is going to be more amazing and exciting than we can possibly imagine. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir, for coming out. Clerk?
Mr. Tom Chase.
Mr. Chase, welcome, sir.
I'm back.
We were worried last time.
I was too, but I figured you needed a vacation from me. Okay, I'll start with the road update. They started from Sunset south to 69, grinding up the asphalt. They were tearing out the medium and all the curbs on that end down there. There's interesting detours that are involved. And we get to share the wealth. Prescott East Highway gets to share the wealth with everybody else around there because all those people are bombing up and down their streets. I was out a couple of times today and I got to see it myself. It slowed it down a little bit, but not a great deal on our street. But like I said, all the other streets we're spreading the wealth around and the joy. I'd like to talk about the trees. On the very south end of the Prescott East Highway project going into Sunset that are in front of my house, most of them. It's overkill on what they want to take out there because if we ever get Jasper through, which probably won't happen in my lifetime, it's supposed to slow the people down on the street, or I should say the traffic down as far as how many cars are going up and down. Right now, with Sunsets or Prescott East Highway closed from Sunset South, they only back up 3 or 4 cars to turn left, okay? 3 or 4 cars takes them into 2 trees and your water main that's there in the middle of the street, okay? Talking about taking out another 7 more trees that go past my house to the north to the middle of my neighbor's house. That's what makes us a residential neighborhood, is having those trees out in the middle, okay? If you were to come and take a look, if you look south, never had any trees out there and everything. Now that they got the medium out, the asphalt out, it doesn't look real good. I know it'll improve, but it's not gonna improve with trees or anything, okay? So if you look to the north, you see all these trees. They're all changing color, not hurting anything. I understand a few of them have to go for the roundabout. But I hear council meeting after council meeting about you guys are interested in the landscape and walls to keep the noise down and everything. It's right there. The trees are right there, staring you in the face.
Thank you, sir. Clerk?
No one else, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on, item 7, council comments, communications. We'll start with Councilman Kinzinger.
Nothing tonight.
Vice Mayor?
Yesterday, I had the privilege of attending the Main Street Theater as part of Alive After 5, the chamber event. And our very own PV Youth Choir was there. I think that was their first appearance. And they were singing Christmas carols, and it was actually quite awesome in my opinion. But this is the choir that we had funds donated many, many years ago, specifically donated for a boys choir, and our staff, Ryan Judy, who did an awesome job working with the court to try to get it amended so that we could do a summer choir. So this summer choir has taken off into a youth choir that is going to also be doing a performance this weekend on Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. It's only $10, and it's at the Main Street Theater, which is right next to the Finley Center. So if you're not doing anything at 7 p.m. Friday and Saturday, please go by and hear these kids. They're amazing. The Main Street Theater is also going to be home to the Scrooge musical this holiday season, and the events will be the 4th, the 10th, the 4th, the 9th, the 10th, the 16th, 17th, and 18th, so Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for $25. And a lot of children in that. It's going to be really awesome. And again, it's right next to Finley Toyota Center. I want to give a big shout out to the Humboldt Elementary School District. I was there Tuesday all day, and it was a great experience for me. I love what our schools are doing, and particularly our smallest residents, and how devoted they are to their education. And then I'd also like to give a shout out to Meredith Dunlap Streeter, who's in the back, and she's on the chamber board with me, and she also works for National Bank.
Councilwoman?
Okay, hopefully I'm going to try to keep this brief, but I did want to give a little bit of update on some of the other councils and boards that I sit on because they've been very busy lately. So I missed last week's meeting because I was on my way through the snow up to Page for a quarterly NACOG meeting. That's the Northern Arizona Council of Governments. And of course, just being able to support NACOG and get updated on all the work that they're doing throughout rural Arizona is huge. You know, I really enjoy being a part of that. And then it's also good to get together with other mayors and council members from throughout the northern part of the state because everybody has such different experiences and different challenges. And, you know, there are, just for example, Page has a population of 7,000. You know, it's such a tourist town. You think of Lake Powell, but it's very tiny as well. So there's a lot of challenges that go hand in hand with that. And then yesterday was our final budget approval meeting at the First Things First Yavapai Regional Partnership Council, which I chair. First Things First is a state agency funded by the nicotine tax. And because people are smoking less, which I want to say is a great thing, but I also think it's partially because they're vaping more. But regardless, First Things First, which funds programs for children birth to age 5, is taking budget cuts. And so that was rough. We've spent this whole year looking at what our budget is going to look like for the next 4 years. How are we going to continue to fund these programs in the Yavapai region? And so hopefully, you know, some things did have to be cut, but hopefully we can pick up the pieces and move forward and find a new, better funding source for First Things First. And then finally, the Upper Verde River Watershed Protection Coalition it's a super exciting time to be a part of that coalition. They received over $3 million in federal grants just this year, and it's looking just as good moving into the future. And that coalition, of course, is made up of local governments that are in the watershed and just a lot of projects moving forward. And we are having a strategic planning work study in December. This is not posted yet, but probably December 8th from 10 to 2. So if anybody is just, why is it called the Upper Verde Coalition when it's in Prescott Valley or in Prescott, or actually Chino Valley? We'll come and find out. It's going to be a lot of information about where we've been and where we're going. So check it out. Thank you.
Councilwoman?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. On a side note, I am the alternate NACOG representative, and I attended the meeting by Zoom. And it is a very worthwhile organization. They do a lot for those who are aging and the seniors in our area. And they provide not only first things first, but from the very youngest to the oldest. And if there's any need in our community, they reach out and provide a number of services. And if you need anything, you can certainly reach out and contact either one of us. Also, this evening, I wanted to congratulate Jen Green, who you all are familiar with, her restaurant, Jen's Cafe. She received on October 16th a wonderful award from Chaplain David Moore of General U.S. Grant Camp, Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War, a certificate of commendation as a result of proudly flying the American flag outside her restaurant every day. And she was recognized for exemplary patriotism in the display of the flag of the United States of America outside her restaurant. And we want to congratulate Jen and her co-workers for their patriotism. Along with recognizing our military this evening, you probably have observed the flags along Highway 69, and we have a couple of organizations here that recognize our military for a number of occasions throughout the year. And the flags you see flying along the south side of the highway are put up by a volunteer flag crew from the American Legion, Post 108, which I believe Roger belongs to. No, not that one? Oh, 140, okay. And while VFW Post 227 puts them up on the north side of the highway. The American Legion Post 108 has incorporated a way to further support veterans for a $25 donation, an engraved nameplate with the veteran's name of your choice, and their service information will be added to one of the flags. And you can contact Peggy Schmidt at 602-571-5123, and she is the second vice commander. And the flags are an important way to honor our veterans who have paid the ultimate price along with their families. And one other thing that's happening this weekend, tomorrow is Veterans Day, and they're having a parade downtown Prescott to honor our Vietnam War veterans, and we would like to recognize Roger for having served in the Vietnam War. Thank you for your service. And
hey, hold on. Yeah. Don't forget Councilman Packard.
Oh, I'm sorry, Councilman Packard. That was my error. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. And the parade the ceremonies begin at 10:30, and the parade will start at 11 a.m. The theme for the parade this year is Vietnam Veterans, to those who served and the 58,479 that never made it home, remember and respect. Thank you.
One more thing.
I forgot one thing. So this week, Kendall was too, we were at Glassford Middle, and a big shout out to Candace Stump, who's the principal there, and her staff, because they did a big ribbon cutting for a brand new, she's fixing my notes. Brand new home ec lab. So there's not been home ec in that school for a long, long time, and they brought it back, and there's 8 kitchens there. It was all done by volunteers. And the reason why I'm telling you all about it is because they're looking for pantry staples. So like pumpkin, sugar, flour, cinnamon, all that kind of stuff. Next time you go shopping, get an extra bag, drop it off at the front office at Glassford Middle School on Glassford Hill Road. They are also looking for a commercial refrigerator. So if you have any contacts with a commercial refrigerator, get it to Glassford Hill Home Ec Lab.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Moving on, item 7, Manager's Report. Mr. Davidson.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, I normally have a very quick report, but I want to highlight a couple of things that I think are really, really important. I received a letter this week from a resident, and we have examples of incredible service excellence across the entire organization. I can cite many times when individuals have gone above and beyond to help a resident or a business through a particular thing. But I got this letter, and it just really stood out to me as just highlighting some of the incredible work our staff, our team members are doing. I won't read the whole letter, but the gist of it is there was an elderly person that had a flat tire and was trying to fix it. And one of our team members, Jason Garber, who works in the Public Works Department, he's not here tonight, but his interim director Pine is here. And so he stopped, he fixed the tire, went on his way. She was so touched by that, she sent him a letter back and a gift card. And he wrote a letter back to her with the gift card. He sent the gift card back and he said, "Ma'am, I can't take this gift card. If you could donate this to charity." He's like, "I did that because that's what we do here at the town of Prescott Valley." And it really highlighted our two values of integrity and that service excellence. And I just wanted to have a shout out. And if the director could certainly, share that with him on what he did. It's just a great recognition on behalf of all of our team members that I think do this all the time. The council executive report for last month will be available early next week, so we'll send out a link to you on that. And we won't have another regular meeting until after this event, but I want to make sure everyone knows our Holiday Spectacular, this is a brand new, amazing community event, is going to be debuts on December 3rd, Saturday, December 3rd, from 2 to 8 p.m. here at the Civic Center campus. So there'll be the traditional light parade that the town has had in the past, but we have a 40-foot tall Christmas tree that the community is going to be getting to light that night. There's a whole host of family fun activities, all free. There'll be a number of food trucks and vendors selling different, holiday-related items. So please, for those that are here tonight, listening online, come out and help kick off the holiday season with this great new event. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, item 8, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. Council, we've all had a chance to review it. If there's not an item you wish to remove, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move the consent calendar by electronic vote.
I second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Vice Mayor? Yep. That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 9, new business, proposed annexation, ANX 22-001, Fane Land and Cattle. This is a public hearing. Mr. Ruby, welcome, sir. And we are open to public hearing.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, the staff was approached by the property owners of this county island for annexation. We've moved ahead with filing the blank petition with the county recorder. There's a 30-day mandatory waiting period. So after November 14th, the blank petition will be circulated for signatures. At that time, we'll come back to the council if you decide to move forward with that approval. Everything has been done in line with state statute, and we look forward to your decision on this. Any questions? I'll be glad to answer. Oh, if I may, I'm sorry. I should have pointed out where the property is located. It's a county island. It's generally bound by North Gladford Hill Road and Lone Cactus, and to the north, it generally comes out of the Granville neighborhood where Tuscany Way is located. There's also a town water well site on the property, and the lower or southern 8 acres have been talked about for the new location of the Quad City Church. The northern property has not been identified for any uses at this time, but there's some potential there for development as well. Be glad to answer any questions if you have them.
And Mr. Ruby, just to point out that the applicant wishes to bring the property into Prescott Valley with the same zoning that it currently is with the county, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. It's an RCU 2A zoning.
Awesome. As we mentioned, no, Council, go ahead.
I have some questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is this Fane-owned land? Is that
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay. It's weird. I have some questions about GIS because I've been on GIS looking at this and there's just no information on GIS. There's no recorded documents. There's no tax bills. And so I was curious about that because I think that the Fanes have owned this land for a long time, correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
So is there any explanation for that? Why there's no...
The property lacks development at this time, and that's why the annexation is moving forward. Upon annexation, as I mentioned, the Quad City Church may occupy the lower 8 acres. The northern acres are still open for development. What will have to happen is as the property comes into the town with the closest zoning designation from the county, at that point, if anything is designated or desired to go on the northern property, it will have to come in for a zone map change.
And then, so are the Fanes going to lease the land to Quad City Church to build, or are they looking to sell it to them? What is how?
I am not clear of that at this point, ma'am, just that there's been negotiations to build the church there.
Okay. And then the little square that belongs to the town right now, that's getting annexed in just because why not? Filing the paperwork, you might as well get it all in.
Well, anytime there's a county island to be taken in, the best procedure to do that is to take the entire county island because it is surrounded by the town. And that particular site is a town well site, existing town well site.
Okay. I was trying to do my research on it and there wasn't a whole lot to find. So I was curious about that. Thank you.
I'm available anytime you want to call.
Councilman? Oh, I thought you had.
No, she answered my question. I couldn't find anything on it either.
As we mentioned, this is a public hearing, so is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak about this item? Okay. With that being said, I'm going to close the public hearing. Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 9H, Starlight Drive Pedestrian and Drainage Improvement Project. Mr. Pine. Welcome, sir.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council, good evening. I have some good news. I only have one slide, and you have it before you right now. These are the bid results that we received on October 24th for Starlight Drive project. The good news is we received 4 bids. The bad news is all of the bids exceed the engineer's estimate and the budget amount. The low bidder is Earth Resources. We're not surprised that these bids came in higher than what we had anticipated. We had discussions with council a few months ago about some of the challenges that we're having with the construction market right now, with delays in materials, transportation issues, labor shortages, so we're not surprised. The project does align with the town's strategic goals. We're adding about 2,500 feet of sidewalk to the east side of Starlight Drive between Sunset Lane and Bison Lane. The project is also partially funded through grant funds, CDBG funds, and monies from Yavapai County Flood Control District. So we definitely want to capture those monies and move forward with the project. We do have other monies in the same budget account. We would just reallocate monies from the Viewpoint Phase 1 project, which that project is where we would widen the intersection of Pronghorn Ranch Parkway and Viewpoint Drive over where the A&W and the New Roberts Market is at. That's just in the conceptual phase right now. We have not started design. We think there'll be minimal impact to that project. We should still be able to move forward with the design on that if we reallocate some of the funds. So the council action here is to go ahead and increase the budget amount by reallocating the funds and awarding to Earth Resources Corporation. And that amount is $1,496,304. Any questions?
I'd just like to say that this is a great project for that area. A ton of school kids walk up and down Starlight, and this is just going to improve the flow of traffic and safety for our pedestrians. So I'm just excited about this project.
Thank you.
So.
Thanks.
Anything else for Mr. Pine? That being said, I'll entertain a motion. Vice Mayor?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move to award and approve a contract with Earth Resources Corporation for construction services for the Starlight Drive pedestrian and drainage improvement project in the amount of $1,496,304,000. Sorry, that sounded bad. $1,496,304,000 by electronic.
Have a second?
Could she say that one more time? She ended up saying 304,000.
1,496,304 by electronic vote.
Can I have a second?
I second it.
Clerk, please call the vote. Mr. Pine, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mayor Pulgaduc, thank you. That passes unanimously.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, item 9C, benefits consultant agreement, and Mr. Davidson will be handling this one this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. So tonight, this item is a budgeted item, and so we could have processed this through just the staff authorization. But I felt it was important to bring it before the council. It's a change in what we've been doing for the past number of years, and so wanted to highlight it. We've historically had a consultant that has been working with the town on providing general benefits consulting advice. We decided that it was time to do a competitive process, so we opened it up for requests for qualifications. We had a number of highly qualified firms that submitted to be able to be the benefits consultant for the town of Prescott Valley. And we went through interviews, ultimately identified the top firm, and that firm is CBiz. And so CBiz will be working closely with the town, if you approve this, to basically assist our HR staff and then support our overall town employees with our benefit plan. So there will be plan management, working on the renewals. So when we have to negotiate with all of the various insurance providers that we have on contract, financial management and actuarial services, compliance and all regulatory affairs. They also will be working with us on health and wellness programs, enhancing programs for employees to hopefully make them more healthy and not having to utilize insurance. And then overall communication and education, as well as a pharmacy benefit plan management. The total contract amount for the 5 years is $353,791.22, but it's, the first year cost is $68,000. Our previous contract had been paid through commissions that were then charged back to the town. This is ultimately a savings to the town. And so we are very excited to be working with CBiz. In the audience tonight, we do have Dave Madden, who is CBiz's representative and will be working closely with us. So if you do have any specific technical questions, he is available, and I'll take any questions that you may have.
Council, have any questions for Mr. Davidson or CBiz rep? I know this is a long time coming to be able to switch over to this, so good job, Mr. Davidson, and your staff in regards to this. If we have no questions, I'll entertain a motion. Councilwoman.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like a motion to approve a 5-year agreement with CBiz for consulting services in the amount of $353,791.22 and approve the related budget adjustment, reallocating various personnel benefit budgets to the Human Resources Professional Services operating account in an amount of not to exceed $68,000 by electronic vote.
I second it.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. Drive safe.